Welcome back. This time, let's solve word problems on rational inequalities. Our problem states that a box with a square base is to have a volume of 8 cubic meters. Let x be the length of the side of the square base and h be the height of the box. What are the possible measurements of a side of the square base if the height should be longer than the side of the square base? Now, we represent x as the length of the side of the square base and h as the height. Remember, for the volume, we solve for the volume as length times width of the base multiplied by the height. Since the base is a square, then the length and the width are the same. So we say x times h. That's length times width times height. X times x is x squared, h. And remember, the volume of the box is 8 cubic meters. So we say x squared h is equal to 8. Now, using this formula, we derive the formula for the height of the box. We divide both sides by x squared. So we're left with h equals 8 over x squared. Remember that the height should be longer than the side of the square base. So h should be greater than x. Our h, remember, is 8 over x squared. So we say that 8 over x squared should be greater than x. This is our starting inequality. Now let's start with step 1 of the smooth method. Step 1, we only need to have one single rational expression on the left. So we transpose x to the other side. It becomes negative x. You multiply this with the denominator. You have 8 minus x times x squared over x squared. So x times x squared is x cubed. Take the negative sign over x squared. Then we factor out 8 minus x cubed. Based on your factoring lesson in grade 8, it will tell you that this is equivalent to quantity 2 minus x times x squared plus 2x plus 4 over x squared, and it's greater than 0. Let's go to step 2, meaningful numbers. We equate our numerator by 0. So we will have x is equal to 2. You will have the same for all. So with that one, it is false. Next, for the denominator, x squared is equal to 0. Once we'll have extract the square roots of both sides, we will arrive to x equals 0, which is still false. So we're just left with 2 unshaded circles. We plot with plot test values. Before 0, that could be negative 1. Between 0 and 2, that can be 1. And after 2, that can be 3. When you substitute it, you realize that the first one is true. 8 is greater than negative 1. The second one is still true. 8 is greater than 1. But the last one, 8 over 9, 8 nines greater than 1 is false. So we will have these shaded portions. But since this is not a continuation, since 0 is not included, then we write it this way. Negative infinity, comma, 0, unshaded, so we'll have parentheses, union. From 0, unshaded, that's a parenthesis, comma, to 2. still unshaded, so we'll have a parenthesis. So it means that based on this graph, the height of the box should be less than 2 meters. This ends our first word problem.